100 LFE 191, fax number 310-854-4455. Madam Carolla, that is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, an addiction medicine specialist. He can help everyone but himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed.
Dr. Drew is sick as a dog. Always funny to me when the doctor gets sick.
Pathetic. I get no empathy from anyone.
It's like the police chief's house getting robbed, or the guy who's a volunteer fireman's house burning down, or something like that. I would, but it'd be so ironic that I wouldn't have time to lament that. Tonight our guest is a woman I swore would never be on the show, and she's now here for the second time in the last 4 or 5 months. Alexandra Paul, you know her best from Baywatch. And like we talked about before, even though I don't think she's been on Baywatch for like 3 years,
You still see her.
she's still on Baywatch, because every time I turn on the TV, there's Baywatch, and there's Alexandra. Hi, Alexandra.
How are you? It's nice to be back.
Now, last time we were speaking to you, you were talking about doing the Ironman. Should I call it the Ironman or the Iron Woman if you're a woman?
No, it started in the first Ironman in the 70s. Only had 15 men in it, so I think they call it the Ironman. Now it has 1,500 men and women.
Now, that's a triathlon, and is the Ironman the one that takes place in Hawaii?
Yeah, the one that I did.
Right.
2 months ago I did it, and it aired yesterday on NBC.
So it's a marathon.
How was
It's
it?
a
2.5
mile swim,
Right.
ocean swim, 112-mile bike,
Right.
and a 26.2-mile run.
Which is a marathon,
Which is
right?
Where?
Oh.
It's
Can you
on
imagine
Kona on the Big Island.
So running through the lava.
Yes, it was very hot and very windy, actually. Those were the elements are the toughest.
And you're screwed when it's windy, especially if you're like riding a bike.
Oh,
I mean,
headwinds. I had to pedal on the downhill. And I'm slow enough already. I'm not a very fast cyclist.
My God. I mean, doing a marathon for most people would be, the culmination of a life's worth of training, But riding 112 miles and then doing it and swimming 2.5 miles.
In the ocean with the wind.
I just couldn't
The
imagine.
ocean is a substantial swim.
But I was on Baywatch.
Yes, right.
No, it was great, and it was a wonderful experience. I finished it in 13 hours and 18 minutes, which is not fast. The winners, came in like the women came in 4 hours ahead of me. But it was a great experience. A wonderful day.
It's like they're made out of different protoplasm. You know what I mean?
You know about that. Do they have more like fast twitch muscles?
There is something biologically different, somebody that can, after the amount of training we know you did, because we talked about it last time you were here, that somebody can be that much ahead means there was something different genetically going on, or pharmacologically. I suppose.
No, there's not really. I would like to say that I pretty much feel like there's not a lot of.
There's not a lot you can do with this kind of performance.
Is that a sport where steroids are going to help that much,
I can't imagine,
though?
no.
Because it's so much about endurance.
Yeah, and stimulants will give them a heart attack. And so.
I don't know. If you did do a drug, I wouldn't know what it would be.
All right, so that's enough of that now.
Okay.
You're done with that?
I'm done with that.
We're going to smoke some pot and get some donuts.
Lie on the couch. I actually was hoping to just be a vegetable and lie on the couch for ages and watch TV with the remote, but I'm the Bally Total Fitness spokesperson for 1998, so I'm going to be doing their commercials, so I have to stay in shape.
Did you do the swim in the Baywatch bathing suit, by the way?
No, guess what? I actually did the entire thing in a bathing suit, so I rode 112 miles in a bathing suit.
You know what's amazing to me about that? And Alexandra, you don't fall under this category because you look spectacular in a bathing suit. But a lot of those women don't look that great for people who do nothing but exercise.
What's your definition of great? You mean they have more body fat than you would think, or
no, less? I mean, they're
less. Oh,
they can't be fetishized by Adam.
Right.
Which means that they're what? They don't look like blow-up dolls.
Right.
Right.
Actually, no. It's true that when you're a triathlete, just because you're fit, it doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy. Right? True.
Right.
And so a lot of people who train a lot, they've overtrained. So their immune system's down. And also they spend a lot of time in the sun, and that doesn't make their skin look great.
Oh, they go right out of that water, and they go running for those bikes, Drew. They're running. They're like in a hurry, trying to put their shoe on, no time to put a sock on. They're riding in the same stinky, sandy suit they just got out of the water in.
For hours.
Oh.
For hours and hours.
Please. It's
This makes
really
me
the
tired
world's
just
worst
thinking
idea.
about it, huh?
Yeah, I really need a nap on this one.
You always loved the chafing experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of chafing going on there.
Yeah, you got to get used to that.
All right, and something that Alexandra showed me last time she was here, which was the world's longest keloid scar.
Oh my God! Oh, I can't believe you remember that. I totally forgot
If the Bally's
that.
people find out about that
Do you have any scars to show me this time that you've gotten in the last couple months?
Yeah, I had a hernia operation.
Did you?
No,
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I want you to look at my groin.
I've had a double hernia, and I'm not showing you.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know women could have a hernia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like when they have kids and stuff?
No, you get them at birth.
Oh, my sister, my twin sister actually had hers when she was 2, and I had mine when I was 28 or something. I guess mine lasted longer.
And how do you get a double hernia? On both sides?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, and I don't really think you should be exercising strenuously anymore. Between the double hernia and that speed bump you got going down your abdomen. What was that thing for? What's your arm move?
So good for my ego here.
Oh, you look spectacular.
I had a cyst on my bowel duct that I was born with. And you know what? Let's see, I was 15 when I had my first surgery, and I'm 34, so almost 20 years ago, they didn't have all those fancy schmancy. Yeah, the little surgeries where you just get a little Band-Aid put over your belly button after having a 10-hour surgery.
Oh, yeah, they split her open like a marlin. I mean, they really gutted you. Oh, all right. Well, I could put some vitamin E on that.
Why we got to that, to visualize.
I had her.
I showed him.
Yeah, she pulled up the front part of her
But I didn't
shirt.
show you my breast. Just so everyone knows that I have some class. You know?
Right. I just wanted to see what was underneath that Baywatch one piece all those years. All right. Hey, well, what do you think about that whole Pamela Lee, Tommy Lee fiasco?
You know, I think that they should be able to make whatever videos they want. And I'm sorry that it was stolen. I think it was terrible. I was actually at a party where it was shown, and I chose not to watch it because I feel like it's an invasion of privacy.
Tell Alexandra my stance on the video.
He doesn't watch it.
I have not watched it.
You haven't either?
It was playing right over here.
It was playing in the theater right next to us.
Because you have a video out too, and you just don't want to.
No, I took a moral stand.
So did I.
I thought to myself, I am not going to play with these in these reindeer games. I just hate the frenzy that society gets whipped up into over. I mean, half of it is titillation, but the other half, and a lot of people don't want to admit this, is just because it's painfully embarrassing to somebody, and it's fun, just like when some kid rips his pants on the schoolyard or something, for everyone just to jump in and have this sort of mob mentality and just sort of pile on.
Well, they had that about the Rob
Basically
Lowe
what they do.
video, too, it's the same situation. I mean, here in Hollywood, they screened the Rob Lowe video at the studios.
Really? I never saw that one either.
Yeah, well.
Well,
We'll just sit here on our high horses.
Well, I was talking to a couple of friends of mine on Friday, and they were telling me that they saw it, what a huge penis Tommy Lee has. And then I sort of broke it down with them, and I said, okay, if you're Tommy Lee, here's the two things that people now know. A, you have a tremendously large penis, and B, you're having sex in every position, in like a Ferrari, with one of the most beautiful women around. How badly is your stock hurt for Tommy? I mean, if you think about it that way.
He's just embarrassed. That's
Right.
I feel like, let's put it this way, whoever's watching that video is also participating. They're part of this chain of whoever stole the video.
Yes,
They're part of that market.
in some small way, they certainly are. And I just wish we had a little more collective dignity as a society. Now let's go to the phone so I can make a masturbation joke. Mark.
Yeah.
You're 36.
Adam, Dr. Drew, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
Alexandra, I just got done watching. You're beautiful.
Oh, thanks so much. What were you watching?
Baywatch.
Oh, and so you see another rerun,
never
Adam.
leaves.
Yeah, it was another rerun.
I don't even think people know when Baywatch's regularly scheduled time is.
right. When the new
You know what? That's
shows are
true.
aired.
Even I don't know.
Yeah, they
I don't
tell
think
me it's on Sunday, but I'll see the thing on UPN late night or...
That's what I just got done watching, but I watched it earlier today, too.
It's also on USA on daily, and it's also on in L.A. on Channel 13 at Sunday at
And you
noon.
keep getting residual checks for that, right?
I do.
Oh, no wonder you're running yourself silly. She's just... she's singing the whole time she's running that 26.2 miles. Well, we don't have time for that
So, Mark,
nonsense.
what's up?
We don't
What's
get
up,
any
Mark?
residuals.
I have two questions. I think one might be for Adam, one for Dr. Drew.
None for me.
I've been married for 4 years. I'm 36. My wife's 30. When we first started going out, we had sex regularly, 4 or 5 times a night. It's great. Now that we're married, it's like obsolete. It's like not there.
Alexandra, you're not even good enough shape for 4 or 5 times a night, are you?
4 or 5 times a night.
That's when I was younger.
How long ago was this?
4 years ago.
It's like 32.
And is it-
it's old enough.
I had vasectomy 2 years ago.
Mark, is it because you don't want it or because she doesn't want it?
No, well, we both want it. It's just that when we have sex, if we masturbate together, yeah, fine. We both can reach a climax. But if we try to have intercourse, it gets heightened real high, but then it just drops off. It does. I don't want to ejaculate.
For you,
I can't ejaculate.
are you on any medications?
No, sir.
Have you followed up with the urologist that did your vasectomy?
Every year.
But when you
Maybe.
masturbate, it's okay, right?
Yeah, me and her can masturbate together, and it's fine. I've got to come all over the place.
Has she had a baby?
No.
Jesus Christ, it's
Sometimes
Sunday. Come on.
men feel funny at
Yes.
making love after a woman's had a baby.
Is he missing his watch, this doctor who did this procedure?
No. I check with him. I check with him regularly. I mean, he told me everything was fine.
And you've told him about this symptom.
Yeah, after I had it, we'd have sex. It was fine, and then as it went on, it chopped off.
You're on no medications. You have no medical problems.
No.
And what's up with her? Anything?
Well, she was very active in her younger days. She was very sexually active.
Is there anything going on with her experience of all this?
She was molested by her brother when she was younger.
Okay.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
She was molested at I think like 15.
Well, let me just give you our experience here with people that got screwed with while the cement was still wet sexually. This is kind of how we refer to it. When people are sexualized at an early age, 9, 10, whatever, 12, 13, or younger, they get a little screwed with. And sometimes what happens is they become hypersexual, as Drew would say. They're having sex 4 or 5 times a day. And then that then goes from, it's either that, it's feast or famine. Either it's the hypersexuality or it's abstinence. And so she may be doing both those with you.
In terms of you, Mark, how is your relationship now?
Our relationship's great. I mean, this is my second marriage, but
Did this happen in your first marriage?
First marriage?
Did this happen in your first marriage?
No, my first marriage broke up because my wife decided to like girls better.
There's something. Mark's got some stuff going on
Yeah,
too.
Mark's got some stuff happening. I can hear it in your voice there,
Yeah,
Mark.
well, I was sexually active at a very young age.
How
I was
old?
sex 10.
10. So that qualifies as sexual abuse.
Who are you active with at 10?
Oh, a little girl down the street.
How old was she?
9.
And you initiated this?
Actually, we both did. We touchy-feely. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. And one thing led to another.
Something probably already happened to you before the age of 10 then.
No, actually, no. It's just when I got hard, she says, well, why don't you stick it in here?
Oh, well, something happened to her.
Yeah.
9-year-old
well,
shouldn't really
I don't
understand
know.
that.
But that also
All right, so you've for whatever reason you've chosen to hook up with people who are sexually abused as well, and it's natural enough that you'd have a lot of difficulty functioning sexually. It's people like this that often develop fetishes and certain kinds of preoccupations that try to help them function, like the S&M, these sorts of things, multiple partners, whatever it is they need to help them function. They find ways, but it's all about having difficulty managing feelings in the intimate act. And something's coming up now for some reason. Maybe you're getting too close to your wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, they're having sex 4 or 5 times a day, and now they're experiencing whatever it is they're experiencing. I wasn't totally clear on how it was working out, but I would say a little counseling, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recommend that. And really, whether it really is okay, their relationship, a lot of times you can say.
Yeah.
We'll just assume all our callers are in the crap house when it comes to relationships. Justin.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
You're 17.
Yeah. Adam, first of all, I want to say you are the greatest.
Well, thank you.
You basically, you are all my friends and mine our role model.
Oh, please.
Oh, my gosh.
so good.
I'm terrified for the future.
We are, too. But anyways, me and my girlfriend have been going out for about 3 months. And, we talked about getting married and stuff because, I don't know, I love her. She's like the greatest. I love her with all my heart.
How old is she?
She's 17.
Hmm.
And I don't know. And we were talking about getting married, but now I'm kind of having second thoughts about it. She still wants to, and it's, I don't know, it's just like...
Where would you live if you got married?
Huh?
Where would you live if you got married?
Well, my own house.
Oh, you own a house?
Well, I'm in the process of buying a house.
At 17?
Are you still in high school?
No, I dropped out and I have my GED.
Are you going to go to college?
Yeah, well, if this music thing doesn't take off, yes.
Oh, boy.
How do you support yourself?
Huh? Well, I got a job. I work at, it's kind of a crappy job, but...
Enough to buy a house?
What?
You can buy, but you can
He
buy a
ain't
house.
calling from L.A., that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you can buy a house.
It's just
You're
like,
talking more about squatting than you are buying, aren't you, Justin?
No, we can get a house real cheap. Some of my friends and I are going to pitch in for a house, and my girlfriend too.
Okay, that's
Commune.
that's like a biker flop house. That's a kibbutz you're talking about, Justin. It's not you buying a house with your wife.
But it's not living at home.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
I think that 17 is too young to get married, no matter how much you're crazy about your girlfriend, and you've only been going out with her 3 months.
That's what everybody's telling me, and it's like all my life people have been telling me how to live, and it's like I want to do something for my own, and I know I love her.
It sounds like you have second thoughts, though, and so...
Yeah, I do, but like, because right now we hardly ever get to see each other, but when we do, it's just like passion, and it's just like...
Oh, boy.
And you know...
That can be that way and not have to be a marriage.
Justin.
Yes.
You worship me as your God, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is your God speaking.
Okay.
I'm telling you that you've greatly offended me. And that, Drew, get the locust. Where do you live, Justin?
Colorado.
Colorado. All right. Yes. Send the locust toward Colorado and the flying monkeys. Justin?
Yes.
As your God, I'm highly offended, and I put a 4-year moratorium on you getting married. You must be at least 21 years of age.
Sure, you don't mean 14 years?
I'll give him 4 years, and he'll be past his relationship in 4 months. Okay. Justin, don't get married.
Don't get married, Justin.
Okay, another thing, Adam, you remember you were talking about the that burger place you went to and played Sky High? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me and my friends went to a diner and did that.
is a bit of homage to me?
Yes,
Sky High?
as a prelude to Adam.
Thank you.
Yes.
Really a prelude.
Opposed to a homage.
I think he had a quaalude.
Quaalude,
I went to Fatburger. Thank you, Engineer Mike.
Right.
After the show at the amphitheater, had a few beers in me. And this wouldn't be part of your training regimen, I'm guessing, getting loaded on complimentary beer over at the amphitheater and then stumbling into the Burger King at 2 in the morning.
No, definitely not.
Found the song Sky High by Jigsaw. You're blown it all sky high. Oh, yeah.
From my teenage years. How old are you, Adam?
I'm 33.
I'm 34. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Jigsaw was pretty hot. Well, they're still hot if you're Engineer Mike. He's got those CDs. Anyway, put it on the jukebox and force the entire place to sing along with me.
Now you're getting 17-year-olds, too. They're getting a little more residuals, those
Hey,
Jigsaw,
yeah.
somewhere
Jigsaw's
in Colorado.
getting royalties.
You're getting $7.
Kayla,
Yeah,
you're 18.
yeah.
What's going on?
I had a question about the effects of mushrooms over a period of time if it accumulates.
It's a weak hallucinogenic.
It's not that weak, I got to tell you.
Well, as compared to LSD, let's say, which are the stronger hallucinogenics. And
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, but wait a minute, hold on. Let me ask you about this, Drew, because I was just having a big mushroom conversation with somebody at lunch today. And, you know, I've taken mushrooms before.
Yeah.
I've never taken a full tab of acid.
Right.
Because I was, like, too chicken, but I took half of one.
Yeah.
And I think the mushrooms were just as powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Some of it obviously is dose related, how much of each you take.
Right.
Oh, it's intense.
And look, anything that causes hallucinations as its primary property damages brain. That's all there is to it. And it probably, among other things, causes a weakening or a lessening of connections between brain cells. and people end up with personality changes, mood disturbances, and
Has that been like proven, like the way it has with acid?
No, it hasn't. That I have found in the literature. So indeed, it's.
But they don't have that many documented cases, do they? I mean,
Well, that's
do
the
they,
point. It's not been that widely used until the last couple of years.
and
So
people
now
don't do tons of mushrooms
Not
like they
typically.
do acid.
Not correct. That is correct.
I don't know what that is. Is it like? Well, part of it is the way they taste. But I mean, Alexandra, ever eat any mushrooms?
No, only the ones you get in the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Sorry. I have nothing to offer in this conversation here, except for I'm listening and learning.
I'll tell you, it's like doing an Ironman triathlon from your living room. That's what these mushrooms are. And
So, Kayla, I want to know why she's asking.
Because I just want to make, I don't want it to be like acid where it just makes you all,
well, listen. Here's all the
Blacked
data.
out.
Here's all the data you need, Kayla. I'm 33. I've been hanging around with a lot of the same idiots from the Valley since we're maybe 15. And there's a pretty distinct difference between the ones who've smoked a lot of pot, done a fair share of mushrooms, dabbled in the coke and the acid or what have you. None of them necessarily junkies. None of them had to go through rehab or anything like that. There's just a little difference. Like my buddy, the Wheeze, came over the other day.
Yeah.
He said, I just drank a couple cups of coffee. He says, I'd like some coffee, too. I said, well, I'm all out, but go ahead and make yourself one. He said, you want any? I said, no, I don't need any. He said, just make a cup for yourself. Come back in there. This pot is filled to the top.
Yeah.
I mean, and the only thing that's missing from it is the cup that he's already poured off the thing. I said, Wheeze, you made 18 cups. What, are we having a bar mitzvah over here? He said, I don't know, man. I said, what do you mean you don't know? You buy $40 worth of coffee in that goddamn coffee maker at Starbucks. You're only making it. I'm not drinking any. We're the only two people here.
What are all the guys doing that did a lot
He
of
just said,
drugs like that?
I don't know, man. I don't know how many cups, 2 cups.
But Wheeze is probably the most successful of all your...
yeah, the Wheeze is doing fine.
But how about what are most of them up to?
Construction.
Are they supporting themselves?
Oh, yeah. They have to. They all got tossed out of the house at 16.
But nobody's lighting the land up.
No, nobody's, and no one's made the cover of Esquire or anything like that yet.
I guess what I've noticed from people who do take drugs is that there's sort of a lack of motivation, sort of a lack of motivation in their lives, which is what I've my non-scientific observation.
My interpretation of that is it actually, particularly pot, blocks the ability to the neurologic mechanism that takes an idea and converts it into an action. Because you have to, there's sort of a mechanism there that creates a thought and makes it, initiates the action. There seems to be a block right there.
Unless that idea is, I need some Funyuns.
More pot.
Or more pot. Those are the two ones that pot smokers are highly motivated on. Those are the two ideas. But no ideas involving inventions or yard work or career goals. All right, Alexandra Paul is here. Drew, would you like to sell? No.
No.
You're not interested in that?
No.
All right.
I'm so sick.
Okay.
I'll sell something.
Why don't you pick a call that you like there, Alexandra?
Oh, yeah, here.
See if you can. Now, you're an actress. You're trained, so take a beat and find your implicit cue. And then really sell it in the kind of way that would bring people back after the commercial.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I just do it now?
Yeah.
Hi. Come back to Loveline and see Adam. Hear Adam take his clothes off.
Let's sell the call, please.
Great, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
we're going to talk to Will.
Yeah.
Who's anorexic. He's 6'2", and he's only 110 pounds.
That's amazing.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed.
Loveline will be right back to deal with inflamed, sensitive areas.
I'm worse off than you. Listen to Loveline.
Yes, you should. Oh, can you guys hold on your conversation until the next break? Boy, they're having a love affair. Alexandra Paul is our guest tonight. You know her from her many seasons on Baywatch. I'm guessing 4.5 seasons.
5.
5.
4.5 is pretty fair.
I wanted to say 5, but then I thought, geez, you've been gone for 3 or something, or 2.5.
2.
Or 2.
2, but,
Yeah, you never leave that show.
I'll be like 50, and they'll make a movie, and I'll have a cameo.
Oh, the Baywatch cast
I'll
is
play
going
the mother of a lifeguard.
You guys are going to take on the Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island. And All right, so Alexandra is now she made such a wad of money doing the Baywatch and now gets all the residuals and everything that she's just quit life as an actress and begun this Ironman stuff, this triathlon training, and now then picked up a gig being the new woman for Bally's Fitness.
I'm the
Bally?
spokesperson for Bally Total Fitness Health Clubs for 1998, so I'll shoot 7 commercials for them. But I just want to correct your statement about that I've given up acting, because I haven't. I did take a hiatus from acting in 1997, but 1998, I'm 100% actress.
Oh, you'll be back.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back already, actually, because the triathlon, the Ironman, was 2 months ago.
Right.
So I'm not training anymore. That's why I'm here tonight. I can stay up till midnight tonight, Adam.
Oh, no jogging.
Yeah, the rift between Alexandra and Loveline.
No, and you, Adam. I never have ever had a beef with Drew.
All right. Well, let me explain what happened. Alexandra was booked to come on about 8 or 9 months ago, maybe a year ago. I heard Ann came in sort of last minute on the night she was supposed to be here and said that Alexandra called, or her people called. The publicist called that day. Maybe that afternoon, and said Alexandra would not be coming in this evening because she had to get up and work out early in the morning. And she had to jog early in the morning, and she couldn't stay up late. Now, my beef wasn't really with you not coming in because...
Or even with Alexandra.
Or even so much with Alexandra. It was just that they couldn't come up with something better than had to get up early
we were
and
just
jog.
telling... Look, my publicist only tells the truth, Adam.
Oh,
and by the way, it wasn't that afternoon. It was we gave you like 36 hours. And you guys are a very popular show. It shouldn't be very hard for you to get somebody in.
Ann said it was that afternoon. But the point is I then went on a minor tirade.
Minor?
That was when your whole... disdain and clear enmity for the publicists in that profession began.
Do we have a copy of that tape? We can play it again?
No, but some friend of Alexandra's taped it, and then I don't know where this pariah lived, but he sent the tape to you. You heard it.
Sebastian lives in New York City. You heard across the nation.
There was all kinds of trouble. But here's what I want to get back to. We've broken bread, and everything's good now, as they say.
Yeah, actually, I like you very much.
And I'm a big fan
now that I've met you.
Of me as well. No, I like Alexandra as sweet as sugar, and it's just impossible to stay mad at her. And she's so good looking too. Look at her, Drew. And the kind of good looking,
with my scar.
Kind of good looking you could bring home to the folks. Not that big.
So it's not really Adam's kind of good looking.
Silicone injected, hair woven, false eyelashes good looking. She has that camping good looking.
I was reading a really interesting book
talking
today.
about?
Yes, about women who basically are essentially dressing up as women.
Right.
That women that do the Pamela Lee thing are sort of fetishizing themselves. They're exaggerating. It's the
they're like
of a man
drag queens
almost. Right. That they're women dressing as women.
Right. They're augmenting
what does that say
they
about
have.
Their psychology?
Not exactly healthy. But it's a way of turning oneself into an object to empower oneself over all these men whom you hate because of what they took away from you when you were a child.
All right, but let me ask you this, Alexandra, and we're jumping back here to the Bally's Fitness Queen. I've seen some of these commercials. And Drew, I don't know if you've seen the Bally's commercials. It is, if those things would last, I think they're minute spots. If they were 2.5-minute spots, I could really get some work done to these things. But, it's the type of thing where I can't get the belt undone fast enough. There's people in the room. I have to scurry out of there.
Actually, I haven't seen any of the old ads, but the ads that I'm doing, I'm sorry, they won't interest you in the least.
I really don't want you to deviate from the old spots. I don't mind you being worked into the old format, but I don't want you to crash the old format. It was this, very industrial-looking, multi-layered. It looked like the bridge of an amazing spaceship. And there's different, there was catwalks and planks and all these different levels and a bunch of the greatest-looking people you've ever seen in your life, all in unison, just going to town. Little unitards and cycling shorts and sweat flying everywhere.
Right? So Adam gets his workout in by watching the commercials. Adam, I'm sorry, but my commercials aren't like that.
You won't be doing that?
No. I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
Well, that's, I don't like that
my
at all. What
my
are you going to be
commercials
doing?
are all about sweat and working out.
Yeah, so far we're all right. A lot of loud techno music?
No, not my last one.
But there's going to be, there's a bunch of other good-looking people in leotards around you, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay. You
All
can
right.
look at everyone but me, Adam.
No, I'll be looking at you too. It's really the greatest advertising ever. Except for someone should sue them, because then when I walk into a Bally's, there's some fat guy with a Making Bacon sweatshirt who's basically just sweating up the place, and none of these techno aerobic queens are anywhere to be found.
It's intimidating when you go to a gym and it's full of aerobic queens. It's intimidating.
I know, but it's a double-edged sword. It has its good side.
Okay, let's talk to Will. Will is 24, and Will, you're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hi. What's going on?
I'm 110 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6'2". Everyone's constantly telling me that I'm anorexic. I don't believe it.
Why not?
I don't know. I think I look fine.
That is amazingly svelte.
Have you always been
for 6'2"? I'm 6'2". I weigh, well, I'm kind of fat, but I'm 6'2". I weigh 195 pounds, and sometimes people think I'm skinny. I could only imagine being 110 pounds.
Did you lose weight down to 110 pounds, or have you always been real thin?
Well, I did lose weight.
From what to what?
140 to this.
That's quite, yeah. See, that goes from, that got you from the sort of lanky to freakish.
Will.
You know what I'm saying?
Will, how did you lose the weight? Why did you lose it?
Why did I lose it?
Yeah, were you sick, or did you eat less? Or
I just ate less.
Why?
I thought it was fat.
Okay.
All right. Now you got problems, right?
Yeah.
Because you're 6'2", 140, you think you're fat.
That's a distorted body image. Right, and that basically is one of the elements that defines anorexia.
So Will could be in some pretty grave danger, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
would think it that
110,
way.
it's 6'2", is amazingly thin.
Yeah. I mean, people die of anorexia, bulimia. You had no bulimic manifestations, though, did you?
No.
You weren't throwing up?
Just didn't eat.
No, I haven't thrown up.
It's kind of unusual in men, but it does occur in men, and it tends to be more severe in men, typically.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Often what?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder, how you're 24. I've know men who have battled with eating disorders, and a lot of times it comes from some kind of a sexual, either ambivalence about being gay or some kind of molestation. Has that happened to you?
No.
Well, it harkens to some form of abuse. Yeah, some
I
form
like that theory.
Well, but abuse is one way of doing it. But the other side, actually, the more common side for the eating disorders is the intrusive, annihilating parents. You know, the parents that that live their life through you.
No, I like my parents.
I'm not saying you don't like them. I'm just saying that the quality of parenting they do is that they act out their own primitive needs on you, and they require you to be something for them rather than valuing you as a separate individual.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
From personal experience, I was anorexic when I was 16, Will. And I feel the reason is because I was such a good girl. I never said no to anybody, and it was sort of my way of rebelling. And I don't know if does that anything.
That's the sort of the typical dynamic, is you have to be perfect for your parents, and you never establish any sense of what your own needs are. So you're constantly overwhelmed. You're constantly emptying yourself on the part of everybody else, and the one vestige you have left is this one thing.
All right. So,
all that.
Will.
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
Kinda.
What do you do?
Well, I work at a school as an aide.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have a girlfriend?
No.
And you're not the world's happiest guy? Right. And you're calling because you perceive this as a problem. I mean, you call and you say, everyone thinks you are, but you kind of think you are too. And by your own admittance, you went from 140 to 110, and it's because you thought you looked chunky.
Do you still think you're
at
fat?
140.
Do you still think you look fat?
Well, I don't think I look fat. I think that I could...
Would you like to lose more weight?
Kinda.
Mm.
You know, I would really recommend, this is what I did. I didn't want to gain weight, but I also knew that I wasn't happy, and it was kind of torturing me, my obsession with how much I weighed and what I eat. And I don't know if that relates to you, but my parents put me in counseling, and it took a while, but it really was helpful to me, and it brought up a lot of stuff that I didn't even realize I had.
Really?
Yeah, I actually thought my life was really great.
Yeah, and it's the anorexia. Oh, that my parents are perfect.
Yeah.
I have a perfect family. I'm perfect.
It doesn't mean your parents are bad or that your family's bad because it...
Because I really like them.
Well, hey, I had great parents too, but they're human, and so we're all human, and so there's pains and there's...
Stuff.
This is what I've always thought. I didn't take drugs, as Will said, and so I guess I used food as a sort of a way to rebel. And
I use food and drugs. Will? Oh, yeah. I put him on hold. All right, here's the statement I have to make to Will. He knows he has a problem. That's why he called, please. And no matter how distorted your body image is, 110 and 6'2" is 110 and 6'2".
Yeah.
You got to get some counseling here, Will.
Fact.
This is going to kill you.
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't imagine being 6'2" and 100 pounds, for instance. I mean,
150 pounds even.
Well, Hagler, actually, Thomas Hearns, when he was fighting, in his prime in the middleweight division, when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard and all that, he was 6'2" and about 150.
Yeesh.
But in 35 pounds of that was Afro. So, yeah, well, I mean, you just couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So, Will, please get some help. I hope Alexandra's experience, thank you for bringing that up, by the way. Hope Alexandra's own experience helped give you a little bit of strength in that department. And I know it's probably more difficult for a guy to go out and do this because there's probably not so many guys at those meetings. But,
Will,
Actually,
you got to get over
I
that.
have to say that Overeaters Anonymous is another option if you're worried about the price of a counselor, Will. But
yeah, but won't he be mobbed and beaten and killed if he goes to an OA meeting?
I've been to many Overeaters Anonymous meetings, and you would be amazed at how many men there are there.
Yeah, but...
And it's not, but it's OA meetings are not only about
but
anorexia.
But it's 6'2", 110? I mean, I thought it was big guys who was at those things.
No.
No, there's all sorts of weight.
Oh, there's a lot of hefty guys at the OA meeting, right?
Sometimes they're geared more towards the low end.
Oh, okay.
So, Will, if he doesn't want to go to counseling, should call Overeaters Anonymous.
And they're in every city, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Look for a meeting near you.
They're usually...
And Overeaters Anonymous, by the way, doesn't mean you... It's for people with eating disorders.
Right.
The name is a misnomer.
Right. Yes. They're right next to the Shakey's in most towns. Okay. Gus for 22. Gus is lying face down with a shotgun in the back of his head as we speak. Gus, we're going to put you on hold.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. All right, and then we'll get back to Gus. Mike?
Hello.
You're 17.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much. How about you?
Nothing. What do you want?
Yeah, I was just saying, my friends told me that my girlfriend's been seen with a bunch of different people, and, I'm just starting to get suspicious. And all of a sudden, like last year around the holidays, nothing really, went wrong or anything. We did everything pretty much every day, and this year, all of a sudden she has these other plans, so,
How long you been going out with her? 2 years?
2.5 years.
Really?
First love?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out. Sorry.
Drew.
No, well, first, I think, have you talked to her? Have you asked her? Have you said, listen?
No, my friends have been, talking to her, but...
Why haven't you been talking to her?
Well, because I don't want to, make her sound,
What?
Because she's the kind of person who'll blow up out of anything, and so I don't want to get caught with this. So.
And what kind of stories have your friends been telling you?
Well, like my friend works at the Kmart down the street, and he says that he's been seeing her with a bunch of different guys that I had never seen before, and she's never seen her hanging out with before. So,
like going into the Kmart.
And what are the friends asking her or telling her about?
I'm gonna write that down for a nice date suggestion. We're gonna buy socks, honey. All right.
I don't know.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You need to talk to her, and if she blows up at you, I don't know if you want a girlfriend. You
Right.
can't talk to about these very serious things.
And plus, here's what I've found. Well, at any age, people, if they can't communicate the way they feel, they just act the way they feel. And if they start saying stuff like, let's say last Christmas they spent the entire vacation together. This Christmas there's a whole litany of reasons why she can't get together. Someone's coming in town, she's got to go Christmas shopping, whatever the hell it is. If people want to be with you, they're with you. I found that to be true in relationships.
No, that's true.
And they work around it.
Yeah.
So-and-so's in town, why don't you come with us?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or they make it crystal clear. I'm going out of town for 3 days. They call you every day that they're out and want you to pick them up at the airport.
At this age, 17, and
right.
your relationship.
Sounds like she's getting out of there a little
natural
bit.
enough that it should begin to split apart. I mean, they need to explore who they are with other people as they get older.
Tim.
Yeah.
You're 28.
Yep.
What's going on?
Well, I got a problem with my girlfriend. Not her per se, but she is really reluctant to have sex with me now because she says it's really too painful for her. And she's seen a doctor about it, and the doctor basically told her that maybe she was with the wrong partner.
Why?
That's what I really can't figure out, because she says that the pain that she has is, she describes it as if she says it's almost like she has an open sore inside that I'm like rubbing on.
Yeah, but she's been evaluated though. And
why the wrong partner though?
Sometimes.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he got his medical degree from the Virgin Islands or something. I don't.
Well, I think maybe his theory is that a woman, if she has reluctance to have sex with somebody, she sometimes doesn't lubricate and doesn't open up.
Right.
Yeah.
That is correct. Or is anxious. If she's had a medical evaluation.
That's my aperture theory.
And she doesn't have infection or structural problems or the usual causes of painful intercourse, then it is anxiety. It's something psychological.
So what the doctor's saying is,
either she's not ready to have sex or she's not ready to have sex with you.
Right.
One or the other.
Have you had sex with her and it was good until a certain point? And then
Yes, it was actually for about the first year.
And you've been going out with her?
About 2.5 years.
So it's been a year and a half that it's been hurting?
No, we didn't have sex right at the beginning.
Good.
But we've even tried like lubrication.
All right, but let me just get the timetable straight.
Okay.
You had good sex for a year, and then it started hurting?
Yes.
And what changed at that point? Is there anything that would have changed?
I moved closer. But other than that...
Why is that funny?
Oh, well, he's just nervous.
It's ironic because he moved closer. So I guess.
Yeah, you describe it as a psychological problem, possibly, and I get closer and it gets worse.
I have to say, Drew, that endometriosis is a cause for sexual pain. You can only diagnose this if you open somebody
Yes, but typically that's pain with deep penetration, that kind of thing. This is burning at the orifice. This is like a sore at the vulva.
And she is like, she does get a reddish inflammation.
And does she want to have sex with you? And she's disturbed about this and wants to try to overcome it?
Yeah, she is.
Are you guys sexual in other ways?
Yeah, we are.
You do everything else but?
We have all the appropriate equipment.
Then
you have appropriate equipment?
Well, battery-operated things like that.
Then maybe see another doctor and see if you can get a better explanation for this. I mean, God knows it could even be just something simple.
I'm just putting Tim's voice together with like the Badger series marital aid or something, and it's absolutely bizarre. If Tim started coming at me with something, I would just jump through a window. I don't care if we're in the penthouse.
Would you claim to have a painful sore?
You're not helping my situation here.
All right.
She's probably listening.
All right, you should get a second opinion then, right?
And yeah, I mean, it could be a vaginal infection or something that is indeed missed. Sometimes yeast infections are very subtle, and there's a new medication called diflucan that can completely...
And you guys didn't have sex for the first year and a half of the relationship?
No, about the first 6 months.
Oh, first 6 months.
And then they did for a year and a half.
Right. Okay. I don't know what turned on her, and it's an interesting diagnosis that you're with the wrong guy, and I wonder if she volunteered any information more than just the physical stuff to the doctor.
A doctor's not going to say you should change boyfriends. He's just not. He may say maybe your feelings have changed, or maybe you don't like what you're doing, if you thought about asserting yourself, this kind of thing, but he's not going to say, oh boy, that's the wrong guy for you, make a change.
Right. Unless it was a lesbian gynecologist who had a crush on her. Yes, Drew. Yes.
Go back to your videos.
Okay. I will. And we'll be back with more of everyone after this.
And Pamela Lee. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. All the sexual information you could possibly need.
Yeah. She's yeah. All right. We talked about that already. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Forget about the fax number. Alexandra Paul from ex-Baywatch Queen is here. I got to come up with a better title for you. And
you call me an Iron Woman.
Oh, boy. My headphones are screwing up, Engineer Michael. Look out. All right. Anyway, we'll fix this. We'll be back in 10 seconds. All right. Loveline, Alexandra Paul, Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. Hey, what was your name in Baywatch?
I was Lieutenant Stephanie Holden.
Oh, right. I've never heard a Jewish name ever in any series, unless the guy's playing a rabbi, and then it's, Moshe Goldfarb. But there's nobody just named, Steinman. There's no Shapiro, unless they're possibly doing some lawyer knockoff thing like that. Everyone's got a really cool name. I'm trying to think. We had on the TV the new Baywatch chick in here.
There's a bunch of them. Kelly?
Yeah, I think it was Kelly.
Kelly what?
I don't know. I didn't work with her, actually. Tracy Bingham?
Yeah, I don't know. True, we got to get our stuff together.
Bad.
Kelly,
do you forget my name, too?
Could it be Kelly Bingham?
No, it's Tracy Bingham.
All right, there's one of them. Real skinny, nice looking. Let me tell you, if you were drowning and she was coming after you, you'd die, but you'd die happy. The woman's like 93 pounds, and there's no way she's tugging anybody to shore. But she sure looked good. And she had like a big, tall model boyfriend. No.
I'm drunk, but since I've been off for 2 years, Adam, the cast has changed markedly, and so I haven't had the opportunity to meet everybody.
You get letters from around the world?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, boy. Do you send them? Do you write them back?
If they send a self-addressed stamped envelope, yes.
Imagine, guys, like people from like Hungarian prisons and stuff.
No, I haven't gotten any of those. That's really? Your mail, Adam.
Well, you haven't arrived until some guy named Bayless started turning you into one of his pen pals. Todd.
Yeah.
You're 25. What's going on?
I was just kind of curious. There's this girl I know. We kind of got mutual acquaintances, and I see her around quite a bit. She works at a store that I go to every now and then, and she kind of gets kind of frisky sometimes with me, and I don't know if it's just kind of playful or what. But
how old is she?
She's 24.
All right,
I was just kind of curious. Is there a good place or a bad place that you ask a girl out to? Because I've heard some girls say when they work at stores, they hate it when they come in and all they do is say hi to some guy. And then the next thing they know, they're getting flowers, and he's asking her out and all this kind of stuff.
What kind of stores you work at?
Actually, it's a hardware store. She works in the paint shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And does she know her way around? I mean, is she...
Yeah, she's pretty good with her tools.
Into that stuff?
Oh, do you guys have mutual friends that you could maybe casually ask her to something where there's a group, so it's not so...
Well, kind of, yeah, but most of the time when I do see her, it is there at the store.
Mm-hmm. I think, though, Alexander, you tell me if I'm wrong about this, I think you go for the daylight date, like the cup of coffee, kind of, not so I'll come pick you up, but do you have a break?
I think you guys are missing the point.
What's that?
He's saying that women don't like being harassed at work just because they're nice to a customer.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like
He doesn't want to be one of those harassers, those guys that come up and go, hey, you're nice to me.
I don't really see her anywhere else besides right there.
Can't you send word through one of your friends, mutual friends?
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know if they're where I could, confide in them enough to have them not going blab.
I mean, but he has no choice.
I have a plan.
If you ask, okay,
I have a plan for her to ask him out. Here's what you do.
Okay.
They do color matching over there, Todd?
Pretty much.
Okay. Good enough. You bring yourself you get a chip of like, some like cherry-colored wood. Just rip it off the back of a stereo speaker or something like that.
Okay.
You go in there and you say, can you match this color up? I'll tell you, what's the damnedest thing. We were celebrating a victory on my yacht, and one of the champagne corks fired straight up and damn near put a hole in the ceiling. We were down below.
You don't want a woman who wants to go out with you because you own a yacht. That's
I don't own a yacht. I do own a boat, but just not a yacht.
Oh, you do?
I can't lie.
Well, you tweak it a little bit. By the time she gets down to the lake, it's too late.
Yeah, but how do you start a relationship with a lie?
Well, I think you work...
Good point.
All right.
Adam,
I'm sorry.
No, this is not... good advice.
You'll never get anywhere in life,
This is why you're
Todd.
single.
You'll never make more than $25,000 a year with that attitude, Todd.
Okay, I'm only making 24. You're right.
I told you. How much you make a year?
$24,999.
No, you got to be asking me.
Nah.
Listen, Todd, do the mutual friend thing, right?
Yeah.
Drew, what do you think about that? It's the only way. You know, I really believe that if you like somebody, don't let that ship go. Don't let those ships pass. You'll regret it. So ask her out. If she doesn't seem interested, what Adam said before, the truth is that if she makes an excuse, then she doesn't want to go out with you. And just really don't ask her again. Give her the opportunity. And what do you think, Adam? If she doesn't want to go out with you, she won't make time?
Right. Yeah. Here's the deal. Plenty of women have plenty of policies. Those policies are for guys they don't like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They are willing to bend the rules when a guy who they've been eyeballing the last 4 or 5 times he's come into the store asks them to go out for a cup of coffee during their lunch break. You know what I mean? I mean, see, women tell guys this all the time. Yeah, sure, I'd like to go out with you, but I don't date people I work with, or I don't date at work, or I don't date customers.
Come on, you're giving away all our secrets,
I don't
Adam.
date neighbors. You live in my building. We work together. I've heard them all. The point is, but lo and behold, when Lorenzo Lamas moves in next door, they're all over him. Because if they like the guy and they're attracted to the guy, they're into it.
You say, look, would you like to go to this? I'm going out with, our friend so-and-so. Would you like to come with us? And then if she doesn't give you an answer right there, say, well, here's my number, and if you can make it, great. And so that gives her the opportunity to call you at her leisure, but then, you aren't don't ask her for her number or anything. Just give her your number and say, well, call me.
Plan number 2.
If you'd like.
Plan number 2. You go in there, you tell her, I'm going to need 5 gallons of your highest hiding flat wall paint and a couple of rollers and a couple of those weenie rollers and extension because I'm painting. I work with the retarded kids down at the shelter, and we're repainting the rumpus room this weekend. And, of course, it's on a
rumpus room.
It's on a, you get specific, and they don't think you're lying. It's on a volunteer basis, and I was just wondering if you could recommend a paint. It's either that or the yacht. Libby.
Hello.
You're 22.
Yes, I am.
You're on with the breath of fresh air known as Alexandra Paul.
Okay, recently I was reintroduced to pornography, sort of, I would say, and I've been seeing a guy for about 14 months now. And he never knew I was really that into it. I didn't even know I was really that into it. And we were just sort of going around the internet one day, and, it's not something you want to, hang out with your friends and look at pornography. And I've been with him long enough, so I figured, okay, well, we can look at it together. So we're looking at it on the internet, and I didn't even realize how much it had turned me on. I mean, absolutely, couldn't believe it. And he couldn't believe it either. Pretty excited about it, but now I'm just like, okay, well, let's look at some more. Let's go over here. Let's rent this movie. And he's like, he's all into it right now, but I think I enjoyed it a little too much when I did enjoy it, because now he can tell. It's almost like I need it to function. More aroused.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Right.
Where does that come from?
Is this making sense?
Where does that come from?
North Hollywood in Sweden.
I definitely looked at it at an early age. I mean, my dad had a garage full of them. I used to sneak in there when I was alone, probably, I was like 10 or something in the summer. Didn't tell my friends,
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean,
now, who were you looking at? Were you looking at the women?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, he had some pretty hardcore stuff. I mean,
your dad did?
Yeah.
Kept it in the garage,
He got me on his lap and showed it to me, but, I definitely wasn't allowed to go in there, but...
Right.
So this is the first, now you've been reintroduced, so there was a period of what that you didn't...
I mean, I didn't really deny myself it, but I just wasn't really that interested in it. It was, now it's something that we can do together, and I'm not quite as ashamed of it, or I'm not... I don't know. I sort of wouldn't want to look at it all the time.
All right, but why do you feel so troubled by this?
I'm troubled because we looked at it for a while, for maybe a week or so, and then just it happened to be, a night, and we were together alone, and there was no pornography around. We weren't even talking about it, and we were having sex, and we were about to have sex, and he could tell that I wasn't as aroused. Because I never really had orgasms that often before, and after I saw the pornography, it was...
almost too quick. You know,
it's sort of a fetish for her because she needs it to function.
Say that, but I mean,
you need it to function. That's
I'd like
sort of
it not
defines
to,
that.
you know, I tell myself it's not
as
a fact.
with pretty much all fetishes, the people that have fetishes are usually bothered by the fact that they have that. It sort of locks them in. You can't. It's not an exploration. It's a
dependence.
It's a dependency. Yeah, it's something you have to have.
But how long ago did you? I'm sorry. How long ago did you find the pornography? Did you get reintroduced? When were you looking at the internet?
Well, we were just on a computer one day, and both of us.
How long ago? When?
I mean, a little less than a month ago.
So maybe this is just some new phase.
Hopefully.
Do you think? What do you think would be the time frame if she? To get worried about it, because I think so when you have a new thing, you get excited about it, and maybe you'll get bored of it after a while, or
we'll see.
Change.
Hard to know. I don't know if there's any absolute time interval on that. It's all very suspicious for something that she's sort of getting stuck with. On the other hand, if her relationships are okay and if it helps her function, and maybe she should just recognize that she needs this and go ahead with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the fetishes aren't. They serve a purpose.
Maybe the biggest problem is that it bothers her.
Well, yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't dwell on it too much. I mean, give it a few more months and see how things pan out. But I think she's sort of pigeonholing herself with this a little bit, saying that she needs it to function and so on and so forth.
Right.
People get involved with these things. I was on I ate like 8 cans of tuna like 2 weeks ago, and I announced to everybody that this was the wave of the future, these tuna sandwiches I was making.
What, you're going to live on those forever?
Yeah. Open the can of the albacore tuna, I mix it up with some of this honey mustard. I had a whole thing going on. I swore I ate like 5 sandwiches a day for 2 weeks. Actually, my urine started smelling like cat food. That's how I knew I was doing way too much tuna.
Doing too much tuna, all right.
Yeah. I was like taking a leak, and I went, hey, did a cat pee in here? And then I went, no, I don't have a cat. And then I thought, wait a minute, this is me. And then I thought, we blame cats for their stinky urine, but it's because all they eat is tuna.
Fish.
Tuna fish.
So what are you doing now, Adam? You're eating Christmas cookies.
I haven't eaten a tuna sandwich in like 2 weeks. What I'm saying is I went through my little tuna phase there. I'm saying this may be my tuna phase, could be Libby's porno phase.
Yeah, it could be her tuna phase.
And I needed it to function. Tim.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think everyone should feed their cat grape nuts for a week and see if that doesn't change the smell of the urine. Just 1 week, that's all we ask. Tim?
Just 1 week?
What's going on?
Okay. Well, I have a hard time trusting women because I think most of them are not faithful, and I think, or at least in...
That's been your experience, yeah.
What's that?
That's been your experience, anyway.
Yeah.
Give us a story. Give us an example.
Well, my last girlfriend, even the first week that we started going out, I found out that she was still sleeping around with her ex-girlfriend, or her ex-boyfriend.
Right, and let me translate that story from her ex-boyfriend's point of view. They were going out, and she was cheating on him with this guy, Tim.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Listen.
No.
First week, come on.
No, it's the other way around.
No.
No, not in the first week. How long was she with the guy?
She was with him for 4 years.
All right, she's here with him for 4 years, and it's their...
For like 3 or 4 months, and then I started going out with her.
All right, but you're in your first week of relationship.
Yeah.
All right, you're still the guy who's cheating on him.
Well, you know what happens is that when you've been going out with someone for so long, and then you find somebody new, and you sometimes end up missing the everything that was good about your old boyfriend. That's probably what happened. She started going out with you, and she's...
All right, so what happened after that first week?
So I finally confronted her about it, and she said she was sorry and she wouldn't do it again.
All right.
She kept doing it.
Okay. So, yeah, you got hooked up with a nutball.
Yeah.
So do you think all girls are like the women are like this?
Well, I got a story for you, and I'll let you tell me what you think about it. There's this friend of mine, his wife divorced him and took the kid, and he told me, he said, listen, my wife's going to come on to you. If she does, go ahead and do it to her, but treat her like you think she needs to be treated. And I said, no, I would not do that. And finally one night she comes on to me, and, one thing led to another, and this whole time she's got a new boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
but I'm not the boyfriend.
All right.
You know?
Tim.
Have you ever initiated a relationship, Tim?
With her?
With anybody?
Have I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, start initiating them with sane people. Listen, Tim, this is just the same as someone who's racist saying, all black people are evil.
Right.
There's a handful of them, just like there's a handful of white folks that are evil, just like there's a handful of... No Asians. They're good. But listen, there's bad women, and there's bad men, and there's men who cheat, and there's women who cheat, and there's blacks who steal, and there's whites who steal.
And you know what?
And
in relationships, it's our responsibility to find the good people, and not.
That's right.
And we have to look at ourselves if we keep attracting people who aren't faithful.
Very, very true. Absolutely. And instead of one of those beach montages, they should have worked in a little. They should have worked in a little psychology into this Baywatch.
But I think it's interesting that he blames everything on the women instead of. I'd ask why he slept with a friend, the wife of or ex-wife of a friend of his,
well,
or why he
especially when he didn't want to. It was clear he wasn't something he wished.
Well, he
to do.
doesn't take responsibility for wanting to. Right. He doesn't need to be taking responsibility.
He's doing what we call externalizing, Alexandra.
Generalizing.
And generalizing.
Everything is the fault of everything outside of myself.
Right.
I have no responsibility for anything that happens to me.
Show me a heavy externalizer, and I will show you a big fat loser. By the way, because if everything that happens to you is the fault of either your boss, your parents, women, whoever,
the weather,
whatever it is, and you have no cause to change, then you will just sit where you are and take one crappy job after the next and take one bad relationship after the next. Take a little, this goes for everybody, take a little responsibility. You are where you are now because you put yourself there.
You can't change anybody else. You might as well just change what you're doing.
Absolutely. There's an abusive idiot on every corner. There's a woman who cheats on every corner.
And there's a good person on every corner.
No, they're inside because it's dark and they're scared of the abusive idiot. But the point is you can spend a life going from corner to corner and hooking up with the a-holes, or you could have a little dignity, change, do a little introspective work, and you won't find that all women are the same. Ben, you're 16.
Yeah, hi.
What's going on?
I've been going out with my girlfriend for about 2 months, and no matter what, she just, we've kissed, but she just won't French me, and we've been at, the step before for about a month, and all my friends say that, just initiate it, but when I try to, she closes her mouth and she pushes me away.
You wear a retainer, Ben?
No.
No.
How old is she, Ben?
Her 16th birthday is next week.
She's 15.
She's 15.
Yeah, well, that's old enough for the French kissing. And by the way...
Has she French kissed anybody else? What has she done with other boys?
Nothing. I'm her first boyfriend.
This is so quaint. We've never had a call about kissing. We haven't. Not that I can remember.
A long time.
Well, the reason it's upsetting me because there's girls that want to do more with me, and they're hanging around me, and I'm tempted to cheat on her.
Yeah, they're not going to give you anything either, Ben. I can size you up pretty good. They're just screwing around with you.
What does she say about why she doesn't want to kiss you?
She says
it's
her fault. She keeps on saying it's her fault, and she doesn't know. It doesn't want to.
I have to say that when I was 15, actually, or 14, I thought a guy tried to stick his tongue down my throat, and I thought it was the most disgusting thing.
Yeah. Now you're paying for it at 34, but back then it was disgusting.
It was terrible. Now it's nice, but sometimes it takes a little bit. I don't know if she feels guilty about sex.
Drew, when's you French kiss? First, you're, 27, 28?
32. No, I can't remember.
You're a
high
kid.
School. Yeah.
High school? Oh, no. I was French kissing in junior high.
No.
I didn't want to do it, neither did my girlfriend, but it was like, well, you got to get this over with so we can get to the hand job. You got to get to this, and by the way, I never did
have these experiences.
I never did get to that point, but you do have to have those experiences. It's a little. Here's how French. Here's what my take on French kissing. French kissing is like kind of yucky at first, and then it has its prime years where it's really good. And it goes back to yuckies. You get older. Eventually, it gets a little weird again. I can't quite explain that, but I'm going through that now.
I guess I don't know if she feels guilty about kissing you, but it's nobody's fault. It's just maybe but maybe she's not ready. And if she's not ready, then I would encourage you not to push it. Otherwise, she's just going to pull away and she's going to feel more guilty.
What is that syndrome? TMJ?
No,
sure she doesn't have that lockjaw or anything. All right.
What do you think you should do about those other girls he wants to go out with, Drew?
I hope you have the respect. If you actually care about this girl, you have sufficient.
They're not interested in him anyway.
To at least hang in with this relationship, and if the relationship isn't working, also have the respect to end it before you start screwing around.
If I end it, I'll break her heart. I'm the only guy that would go out with her.
Why is that?
She's very antisocial. She's got her problems. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right,
well, God knows.
Abused or something.
Was someone trying to French kiss her and her family or something many years ago?
No, just her family is very overprotective. That's how I met her. I met her through therapy.
Well, playing a theory here, Drew, but has she had a tetanus shot in the last 6 years?
But I mean, so breaking her heart by breaking up with her is not an option. But cheating and really destroying her, that's okay.
How'd you meet her in therapy?
Group?
Yeah, group therapy.
Really?
They must not have liked that.
16 and 15?
No, actually, they said it was good for her, and it was good for me too, because we're both really nice people.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with not nice people.
Uh-huh.
They said it's good that I hooked up with her instead of someone else.
Okay, Ben. 2 pieces of advice. First, her friends aren't interested in you sexually. Number 1. I've sized Ben up. I can hear people's voice and tone.
Who's friends?
Her friends, anyone's friends.
Oh,
Ben, this is the only shots you have. Number 2, here's what you should do. Don't put the pressure on her sexually. I know Alexandra's new boyfriend's here and so on and so forth. I don't want to offend him. But if I was trying to kiss Alexandra, I would not just clamp my mouth on her face and wait for her to come up for air. I'd move around a little. Be very passionate, do like the ears a little bit, a little nibbling,
Good. You can do a lot without jamming your tongue down my throat.
Absolutely. And you just move around maybe. Put a little vitamin E on the tip of my tongue and rub it on that keloid scar.
You know what? You are obsessed with my scar. I think you have a scar fetish. You do.
If it's on you, I do. It wouldn't work on any other woman. The point is be creative. Let her loosen up and get into the moment. Don't put the pressure on by just clamping your face on there. Right? Am I right, Alexander? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. I mean, it's sort of a tongue.
I got you with the nibbling part, didn't I?
Yeah, you really got me there, Adam. Are we having a break now?
Yeah, we're going to break. We're having a nibble break. All right, we'll be back.
Hey, this is Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
And this is Donna Yerrico from Baywatch. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla
and Dr. Drew.
Oh. Hey, were you on Baywatch, Alexandra, with Donna Yerrico?
No, but actually she was on Baywatch nights when I was on Baywatch. And I've met her many times, and she's very sweet. Really sweet.
I guess Baywatch nights didn't take off like they'd
it was on for I think 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. It was Hasselhoff. First off, he was just like busting crime. And then he became like Kolchak, the Night Stalker, or whatever. Remember that thing?
Oh,
remember that series?
Stalker. I remember the Night Stalker.
True, please. When we were kids, there was that like crusty old sort of detective guy, and he hunted like criminals, but it was all sort of supernatural. Headless guys on motorcycles, and Loch Ness monsters, and no,
I didn't see it.
Not ringing a bell.
Not at all.
Very popular show. Right in your prime.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, you remember that?
I remember the title. I'm sort of hazy on the details.
Then, what happened with Baywatch Nights is I think they got kind of supernatural about it, and
they're trying to be like the X-Files.
They were more going towards that direction. Yeah.
What?
Hold on. Who's that, Sherry? Darren McGavin? Was the old guy from Kolchak, the Night Stalker, whatever the hell that show was. That was a great show.
Yeah, the Night Stalker.
All right, anyway, so...
I should have Darren on the show.
Yeah, let's dig up Darren and book him for next week. So they, started like going after like Sasquatch and all that, but it was like under the pier, and it was kind of weird. It never worked. They took out the bikini element.
That's what killed you, right?
Boy, talk about grandiose. here's a guy, this Hasselhoff. He sells 1 billion records in Germany. He's having a worldwide success, and he gets I think he got a little nuts and thought, well, I'll just go on at night and we'll put everyone in an evening gown. No, you're missing the essential elements here, which is good-looking women, bathing suits, and lots of equipment. Lots of those ski-doos and the scare boats and helicopters and all
I'm
this.
sure his next project will do very well, David. Most things he touches turn to gold. Have you ever had him on this show?
No, but isn't he done?
Should.
Isn't that enough out of him?
No, he's in his prime.
But who cares? He's got so much money.
It's not about the money for him. He loves.
What's it about? The art? It's the art?
He just loves it.
He's having another heart-to-heart
anybody who has two television series
with
going at
Kobe,
the same
his son, or Toby, or the guy's name, Kiwi. Hobie's named after a catamaran, his son.
Surfboard.
Such meticulous detail, this show.
Yeah.
All right, but listen.
He loves to work. He's got the energy of a kid on a candy bar.
He's got something wrong with him. I'll tell you why. Because... And now we'll never have him on the show. But listen, Hasselhoff, he's got himself up to like an executive producer or something of Baywatch, right? And he gets a...
he's been executive producer for the last 7 years.
All right, so he gets a piece of the action.
Yes.
So he's got more money than God. He really does. He sold 1 billion records, and he's made a ton of money doing that. Plus all this sort of knockoff Baywatch stuff. He's probably getting a piece of the calendars or the Alexandra Paul inflatable doll or whatever other merchandising.
Air fresheners.
They're selling. They're selling around. So he has more money. Meanwhile, his side projects are Baywatch Nights, which is not exactly art. You know what I mean?
You know what? We don't pretend it's art.
I know, so
we just
why
have
do
a great time because we have a... Loveline is art.
No, look, I do this for the money. You kidding?
Oh, you're crazy. No, he loves it. He just loves it.
All right, but there's a flaw there somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Yes, there's a flaw. Because
where? Here.
No, if he was painting or following his muse that way, that's one thing.
Need our help.
All right.
Okay, enough with Hasselhoff.
Okay, all right. Madison, just doing it for the art. Baywatch Nights. Come on.
Hey, Madison.
Hey.
Hi, how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I'm happy.
We're good.
I'm glad I got through. Years I've been trying to get through, never could get through. Anyway, my problem is that I'm dating someone in my building, and it's been about 3 months, and we haven't gone out on a date. And I don't know.
Wait. You're dating, but you haven't been on a date.
Right.
Haven't gone out? You mean you just see each other in your apartments?
Right. And, watch movies and, talk and all that, but for some reason he doesn't take me out, and I brought it up to him. And, he realized, he's like, yeah, I should take you out, but he still hasn't, and I've had him meet some of my friends, and I've never met any of his friends, and I don't know, does he think this is just a fun building type of relationship?
Probably. I hate to be the cruel voice of truth here, but the reality is, and please, none of you disagree with me, guys don't really like taking girls out on dates. Guys don't much want to go dancing. You ever wonder why you never go dancing anymore? I mean, you went dancing 5-6 times on your first 10, 12 dates, but you never go dancing anymore once you're together for a year because a guy can't stand dancing. Guys take women out because they have to. They don't want to. If he could say on the first date, hey, how about we rent a couple of movies, I pop some corn, and you give me oral pleasure while I'm playing it on the love seat. If he thought he could do that on the first date, he would do that on the first date.
So what should I do?
You bypass that whole crucial first dating period. You let him right into your pants, and now you can never go back and regain it unless you hold off sexually.
I don't believe
she
in that
skipped
sort of
the crucial dating months, which is like the first
it's true, and
2 months.
I think we can all learn from that. That sometimes if you skip that phase, you don't get some good foundation in your relationship.
It's hard because we live, in the same building. It's not an average relationship where you meet someone outside of where you live.
No, but it's also up to you to sort of put on the brakes and design it how you want it to be designed.
How often are you seeing each other?
Maybe once a week. We used to see each other more often in the beginning. First couple months.
And why do you see each other less? I see my boyfriend more the more I get to know him. because we want to spend more time together.
I just finished finals. I'm in school, and we both work full time, and
you
he's
live
always
in the
tired,
same.
and I don't know.
He's always tired. Let me tell you, this relationship is going. Once a month, he puts his penis through the mail slot and stands there by the door reading a Sports Illustrated. That's where this thing is going.
That's where he'd always arrived.
It's not really he's not. You're just one of the chicks in the building that he has sex with. That's what's going on here, Madison. He's not interested in the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
I don't think he is.
No, he's not. So stop trying to figure out ways to get him to take you out on a date. He doesn't want to do it. I think you should just break it off with him.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you're happy with, if you're happy with just going to his apartment.
He's the first person in a long time that I like enough where, we're more like companions than anything else. I have a really good time with him, and we laugh and we talk. And
listen, I know there's a lot of good stuff, but you see, if you are asking us this question, you want to go out and have a more well-rounded relationship, and he doesn't want to, either you accept the relationship that has, you can't force him, and you don't, why beg, for crying out loud? Have some dignity and find somebody who can love you the way you want to be loved, instead of making excuses for the relationship. If you're okay with it, then stay in there.
Can you accept that he is not having an emotional experience with you?
No.
Okay, he's not.
No, he doesn't get close to me at all.
He is. Can you accept that he is not having an emotional experience, probably at all?
No, I can't accept that.
Okay. Well, you need to accept that. That's what guys do.
That's
That's what guys do, Madison. They have no problem with that. Women can't do that very well, at least not in a sustained relationship. Men do that. In fact, they try to do that.
Yeah.
Plan to do
this
that.
guy has found himself the sacred cow. It's someone who lives in his building. He gets to have routine sex with them. He never goes out, never spends a penny, doesn't have to worry about any hassles. And I think Madison skipped that crucial step, that training step. She got right to it too fast, and now she's past it. It's like a lion that's been you feed him every day at noon. Now you try to send him out into the jungle to hunt.
His analogies are just amazing. I love it.
Well, forget it. It's not going out.
I agree with you.
Wait for food.
Women need to understand that, for instance, like the porno industry. Men look at that, and that's it. They just need to look at it and experience it. That's it. They don't have to have any emotional experience. Women look at that and they go, oh, it's kind of interesting, but they are not having a great experience with visual or just the sexual aspect of the experience. There has to be an emotional element, or they don't stay with it.
I had an emotional experience at the time someone stole Weekend Roulette from my collection.
I
cried.
Oh, I bet.
I cried like a baby. Yeah, it
What's
was like
Weekend Roulette?
It was an old movie that my friend Louise gave me many years ago, and I became sort of bonded with it as you do when you have that. Like it was like a first girlfriend, and then somebody stole it, and I cried like a mother losing a child. But that's as emotional as I ever got with that. So Madison, I would scrap this guy, or at least just wait till he makes a move. And then if he calls and says...
Don't wait for a guy.
Yeah.
If you've been going out with him, she's been going out with him for months, right?
Yeah,
right.
She needs to end it.
Don't wait.
She's got to accept reality on reality terms here, and it's not going to be the way she wishes it to be. She needs to get out and get something that is what she wants.
I'm not saying wait by the phone. I'm saying you don't necessarily have to call him and break up with him. If and when he calls and says, how about I come by and bring a little macaroni and cheese.
For me as a woman, and I don't know if I think this is more, it's better to have a little control here. She seems to be like just waiting for him to do things. She needs to call him and say, this isn't working for me, and I told you about I wanted to go out more. We didn't, so let's just not see each other anymore. And she needs to make a finite...
Here's
the answer is going to be, what unit number are you in? Okay, let me X that off. All right. That's in the east side of the building?
Okay. If she doesn't really believe what he's all about, withhold sex from him for a few weeks and see if he comes back. Think about it. Where will he be?
Guys are like that cat. They'll just wander over to the next yard looking for some food. I know, Drew. Now quiet down over there with your silent rage. Kevin.
Hey.
You're 11.
Yeah. Alexandra, I wanted to say I saw your movie Dragnet. It rocks.
Kevin, thank you so much.
You did a great job.
You were 1.5 when that movie came out.
And Adam, you rock. Drew,
Drew's great, Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin.
Okay, he's okay.
Kevin.
I'm more on Adam's side.
Kevin, we got to go to break. But I'll tell you what, we'll come back and you can lavish more praise on Alexandra.
Okay.
You watch Baywatch?
Sometimes.
Yeah. See, he's prepubescent, so there's nothing in it for him.
Mm-hmm.
All this is, hey, Hobie got himself another skimboard. Big deal. He hasn't learned to enjoy it, the way a man...
The biggest audience for Baywatch is prepubescents.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Even between 5 and 12.
Oh, what irresponsible parenting is going on in this country?
No, kids
One
love
montage is worth a year therapy at age 7.
It's
please.
not really It's not really. This was an unscientific poll that I've done when I asked people who supposedly their kids love our show, how old they are, and generally between 5 and 12. It's not a demographic really that advertisers look to that much, but yeah. That is the truth.
Yeah, because you're not bringing in a lot of consumer dough in the 4th grade.
Adult men come like third after teenagers, women, it's not what you think.
What are they saying they're watching, like Jeopardy or some nonsense?
The adult men?
No, they're just lying,
nobody
that's
admits
all.
to watching Baywatch.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I set my watch on that show. All right.
When you can find it.
We'll be back.
Hello, darling. This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and you're listening to Loveline.
Hey, yes, you is. Phone number. Forget about the phone number. Forget about the fax number. Alexandra Paul is here. You know her from her work on Baywatch and many, many movies. Telling us during the break that she's got a kids movie coming out. Well, it's for everyone, really. But it's G-rated, right?
I think so, yeah.
And it's called...
Kid Cop. It's a great movie. I play the mother of a kid who really wants to be a cop. He tries to solve crimes.
Burt Reynolds already made that movie in like 1984 or 5. Didn't he, with the little black kid who wanted to be a cop?
Well, I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one?
Drew?
I'm asking Drew.
Yeah, he was studying to, really hard in med school then. He didn't have time for movies.
So when is this movie coming out?
In the spring or February. Oh, I can't remember.
Can you get Drew some passes? Because he's all about that.
Sure. Yes, you bet.
There's no violence or frontal nudity or anything?
No.
Okay, I'm not going there. Not interested in that. Kevin.
Yeah.
You're 11.
Yeah.
You were telling us how much you loved Alexandra when we left off.
Yeah, your work in Baywatch is really great. Dragnet was awesome. Adam, you rock. Drew, you rock.
Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you.
And I was also wondering, I'm beginning the early stages of, puberty.
Yeah.
And my, nipples, they've been getting real sore.
Right.
Stop playing with them.
No, that's normal. They'll enlarge a little bit sometimes for about the next couple of years.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
And that's a little different.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
This is Kevin.
Sorry.
This is the male.
Is it different between male and women and girls?
Yeah.
Oh.
Drew?
Yes,
Sorry.
Kevin.
It feels like there's kind of a lump in there
Behind
or something.
Yeah. And that will enlarge, and it should go back down again after a couple of years.
Yeah, this seems to... I remember this happening to a friend of mine. I don't think it happened to me. But what percentage of guys does this happen to? Because we get these calls a lot.
Common. It is a common thing.
Yeah, everybody thinks they have cancer or some tumor or something like that.
Gynecomastia. Basically, just before the testes really begin producing testosterone, the adrenal glands produce estrogen, and it creates breast enlargement.
Is that what that lump underneath the nipple is?
Yeah, it's breast development.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
All right, boys, cop a feel while you can, because then there's that long down period between 11, 12, and, 15, 16,
34.
17, 34, 33 in my case, where you'll have to do without. Jason.
Yes.
You're 22.
Yes.
What's going on?
I've been smoking cigarettes for 10 years.
Since you were 12.
And I'm interested in trying to figure out ways to quit. I was on the patch probably when I was a freshman in high school. But it's getting to a point now where I think it may be affecting my health in the future.
You can count on that.
It's getting to the point where he thinks it might affect his health in the future.
Well, like serious long-term things.
You can count on it.
And I'm trying to... I've actually heard about things like there's new prescriptions.
There's a new medicine called Zyban, which is basically Wellbutrin repackaged. And it's rational. I use it sometimes in cocaine addiction because it seems to improve the balance in the dopamine areas of the brain, which are important in addiction. I'm not overwhelmingly convinced that it's a tremendous advancement. I think the patches work pretty well, too. So doing the patches and the Zyban, I mean, it's a reasonable approach. But you've got to want to stop smoking. You also have to do some behavioral interventions.
How does that work?
You might check with a local hospital, see if they have a smoke enders program. That's probably the easiest way to do it. It's real clear that without some behavioral interventions, the probability of any of these pharmacological manipulations working is pretty low. The thing about Zyban is they have sort of a follow-up, 800 number you call, and they've got a bunch of follow-up, a team and whatnot. Sort of they help you organize the behavioral aspects, I think. I've not been in touch with them myself, but I understand they have something like that.
I think they have that big black drill instructor who yells at you on the 800 number.
Have you tried to quit before since?
Oh yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. I've been dating the same girl through college. She hates it. She never smoked. She knew I smoked when I started dating her, but it's getting to the point now where she can't stand it.
How much are you smoking?
Half a pack to a pack a day.
Is that down?
No, that's about how it's been for years. In college, I was probably up to a pack a day. I lived in a fraternity house, so everybody smoked. There were cigarettes.
Isn't that amazing?
And, among others.
That is amazing to say a college-age kid. Well, of course, everybody smoked.
Well, there's certain, I think there's certain campuses and certain colleges that smoke more than others. I used to hang out. I never went to college, but I knew these guys who went to college, and they went to Berkeley. And I used to go up there for the party weekends all the time, and nobody smoked a cigarette in the whole place.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess Jason,
junior college, that's where you find the smoking.
Yeah, and when I was in high school, I was really into riding my bike. I used to ride my bike about a good 100 miles a week. And I live in the Washington area, and then I moved up to upstate New York for school, and it snowed every day, so of course, my health has gone even more because of that.
All right.
Just don't give up, Jason, because many, many people have quit smoking, and if it doesn't work on this try, please don't give up. Keep
That is
trying.
true. The more people, the more attempts, the higher the probability of sustained abstinence.
And different ways
Which
might
makes
work.
They say the average person quits on their fourth or fifth time, or some nonsense. I can't remember what the statistic is. Ruth.
Hi.
You're 22. What's going on?
Well, I wanted to know about habitual pot use and how it affects people. Because I like somebody a lot, and he's a big stoner. And I'm wondering whether to just ditch him, not pursue it or whatever. He's really passive, and I think it might have something to do with the pot smoking.
Well, sure it does. I mean, they have difficulty initiating lots of things. It makes them appear passive. But the more important issue here is what is it about you that leads you to want to get involved with an addict? Marijuana addiction is just as severe as any other form of addiction.
I didn't know that he was that well into it for a long time because, I just saw him, we'd go out dancing or something like that, and I would have no idea that he was really high.
Yeah, but there's something about you or your past or something that makes you want to be involved.
Well, now, hold on a second. Let me yell at Drew for a second here, Ruth. Drew,
yes.
He may be addicted to marijuana, and the addiction for marijuana may not be any different than any other addiction, but the drug is more benign than, let's say, somebody who was drinking every day or somebody who was shooting up heroin on a regular basis or smoking crack cocaine or something like that. The addiction part may be the same, but when some guy is getting loaded all the time, you can tell. And when he's shooting junk, you can tell too. There's some people that just they smoke pot every day. That becomes their natural affect, and they go through life stoned.
Right.
And what is it about that? I mean, how does that affect you? I mean, I don't understand. I've seen friends smoke up every day and it just becomes a part of them.
But you see how they change, right?
They function.
But you've seen how they change.
But, well, I didn't know them before.
And what they end up with lots of mood disturbances. Eventually, they get very depressed and very irritable.
Really?
Always.
Well, when they take away the pot, I think
No,
keep
if
the pot going.
What they do is they start trying to increase the doses, try to get the same effects. Still doesn't work, and then they switch over to something else typically.
Yeah, but you got to have some years.
Yeah.
You got to have some years.
Yes.
I mean, the thing about it is you do crack cocaine, and within 6 weeks, you've dropped 60 pounds.
Yes.
That's a scary thing, though,
you're
about
a
pot,
mess.
because a lot of pot users say, A, it's natural, it's okay,
it's whatever.
and B, it doesn't affect me. So that's what's so insidious about it. I'd be really wary of getting involved with a pot smoker
and
because there's so much denial there.
Oh, yes. And let me go back to my original question. Do you have a parent who's an alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was getting at, Adam. Okay.
Oh, listen, everybody's parents drink.
Oh, please.
Come on.
So for you, you're looking for...
Hey, Ruth, don't make an ass of me next time. You chime in with that, would you?
Adam, wait, no, hold on a
I'm
second.
busting my balls over here.
In my own defense, I mean, I've done, years of therapy, and Adam, I didn't mean to make an ass of you. I just meant to say that, I mean...
You're still doing that. You're still doing the codependent routine here, and you found another addict to
See, I don't even understand...
Just the way
therapy, what codependency is. Nobody's been able to give me a straight answer.
It's an amalgamation of a lot of more complex concepts, frankly. But it is basically a need to go and fix somebody else's way of avoiding your own issues. That's the fundamental sort of concept behind it. And basically, you lived your life around addiction, and so you know what that is, what that biology is, what those kinds of persons are,
But I didn't know that about them when I was...
Yes,
but you feel comfortable with it. You're drawn to it.
you know it in a way that's instinctive, and so you find it. And addicts find other addicts the same way.
Just like women who've been abused find abusive guys. The guy's not slapping her around on the first date. They just are drawn to it. They can
and
find
maybe years later before the alcoholic manifest or the abuser becomes violent.
Yeah.